Here is something almost nobody tells you before they install an AI agent on their computer. Getting it off your system again can be much harder than getting it on. You run one install command, everything feels smooth. The agent starts reading your emails, managing your calendar, browsing the web for you, and then one day you decide you're done. You run the uninstall command, it finishes in seconds, and you assume everything is gone. Except it often isn't. Days or even weeks later, you notice a background process still running, a service launching every time you log in, folders still taking up disk space, or connected accounts that still have permission to access your data. That's exactly what happens to many people trying to remove OpenClaw, the popular local AI agent that runs autonomous workers directly on your computer. If you're watching this, you've probably already tried the easy uninstall and discovered it wasn't nearly as complete as you expected. Or maybe you're planning ahead and want to remove everything properly the first time without leaving anything behind. Before we continue, if practical, no-fluff AI and tech tutorials like this are helpful, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's dive in. The biggest mistake people make is assuming OpenClaw behaves like a normal application. It doesn't. It installs multiple components across your system, including a background gateway service, local configuration data, command line tools, and sometimes Docker resources. Simply deleting the application or running one uninstall command rarely removes everything. There's another detail that catches a lot of people off guard. OpenClaw has evolved over time, and some early installations may still contain files or services created under previous project names. That means even after deleting everything labeled OpenClaw, older components can remain hidden unless you know where to look. We'll check for those later. So what exactly needs to be removed? There are 5 main pieces. First is the background gateway service. This is what keeps the agent available even when you're not actively using it. On macOS, it usually runs as a LaunchAgent, on Linux as a systemd user service, and on Windows as a scheduled task. If this isn't removed properly, OpenClaw may continue running long after you think you've uninstalled it. Second is the command line interface itself. Most people install it globally using npm, although some use pnpm or bun instead. Third is your local data, including configuration files, cached information, conversation history, task queues, and saved API keys. Fourth is external account authorization. If you connected OpenClaw to Google, GitHub, Slack, Discord, Microsoft, Notion, or any other service, those permissions remain active until you revoke them manually. Finally, if you use Docker, you'll also need to remove any containers, images, and volumes created for your installation. Now let's remove everything properly. The quickest place to start is OpenClaw's built-in uninstall command. If the CLI is still installed, run the official uninstall command with its automated options. In most cases, this stops the gateway service, unregisters it from your operating system, and removes the default data directory containing cached files and conversation history. That's a great first step, but it isn't the whole job. The official uninstaller doesn't revoke OAuth permissions from external services. It doesn't remove Docker resources. It may leave the CLI package installed depending on how you originally installed it. And if you stored your configuration in a custom location, those files remain untouched. So treat the built-in uninstaller as the beginning of the cleanup, not the end. If the CLI has already been removed but the gateway service is still running, you'll need to remove the service manually. On macOS, look for the LaunchAgent associated with the OpenClaw gateway, unload it, then delete its plis file. On Linux, stop and disable the systemd user service, remove its service file, and reload a daemon.
On Windows, open Task Scheduler. Delete the scheduled task used by OpenClaw, then remove any remaining scripts or launcher files it referenced. Once the service is gone, it's time to clean up what's left behind. Check the hidden configuration directory where OpenClaw stores its local data. If you previously changed the configuration location or used a remote gateway host, remember those files may exist somewhere other than the default directory. Next, search for any leftover folders from older installations. If you've upgraded through several versions over time, there may still be legacy directories that newer uninstall tools don't automatically remove. A quick search of your system for OpenClaw and any older project names is usually enough to catch them. Now remove the command line package itself. If you installed with npm, use npm to uninstall it globally. If you used pnpm or bun instead, use the matching package manager. If you're not sure which one you used, running each uninstall command is harmless, since the ones that don't apply simply won't remove anything. If you cloned OpenClaw directly from its repository rather than installing it through a package manager, verify the gateway service has already been removed, then simply delete the project folder. Docker users have one extra step. Stop and remove any OpenClaw containers, delete the related images, and remove any persistent volumes. These resources are completely separate from the normal installation, so the official uninstaller won't touch them. Now comes the step that almost every uninstall guide skips. Revoke access to every external service you connected. Visit the connected apps or security settings for Google, GitHub, Slack, Discord, Microsoft, Notion, or any other service you authorized, then manually revoke OpenClaw's access. Removing software from your computer never removes OAuth tokens stored by those services. If you connected messaging platforms like Telegram or WhatsApp, remove those integrations from the platform itself as well. Otherwise, the authorization may remain active even after the software is gone. Finally, verify the cleanup actually worked. Open a terminal and try running the OpenClaw command. If it isn't recognized, the CLI has been removed. Open Task Manager, Activity Monitor, or your system's process viewer and confirm no OpenClaw-related processes are still running. Verify that the configuration folders are gone, then check every connected service to make sure OpenClaw no longer appears in your list of authorized applications. If you still find something, don't panic. OpenClaw supports multiple installation methods, optional Docker deployments, custom configuration paths, and background services that operate independently of one another. Missing a single component doesn't necessarily mean you did anything wrong. It usually just means there's one remaining installation method that still needs to be cleaned up. And one final tip. If you're uninstalling because you plan to reinstall a fresh copy later, make a backup of your configuration folder before deleting it. That contains your settings and history, and once it's gone, there's no way to recover it. If this walkthrough helped you completely remove OpenClaw from your system, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more practical AI tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.